Hello, this is Bridget Rao with Divine Essentials. Alright, everybody. So this is going to be a reading to find out who you might have been in a past life, how it's impacting you in this life, and we'll see what comes through that you may need to do. We have pile 1, 2, and 3 here. This is Amethyst, this is Labradorite Unicorn, and this is Petrified Wood. Okay, so choose your pile, and if you need to pause, go ahead and pause while you choose, but I'm going to start with 1, the Amethyst, and we're going to see, what happened in your past life, how it's impacting you now, and what to expect from it. So right off the bat, you have love life, phobias, unrequited love, and orphan. So I'm feeling like in a past life, you could actually be on a pretty significant love journey in this lifetime. You could have like a very high level soulmate that you have to connect with, or that you have connected with, that has triggered some of these phobias, some of this energy here of being orphaned and having unrequited love. So you could be on a high level soulmate or twin flame journey. But I feel like in your past life, you were orphaned. Okay, you experienced unrequited love, and so you've created phobias in regards to love in this lifetime that need to be healed, that need to be released, so that you can grow and that you can heal the connection that you created with somebody in a past life, so that you don't have to keep coming back and going through this. So you really want to go back into your past life to see why the love was unrequited and on what side it was, because it doesn't necessarily mean that you were the person that this happened to. The person that you're dealing with may have gone through this, and so you want to figure out which one of you has what phobia and what energy is impacting you guys negatively, so that you can heal and you can come together in union and balance out what, and you may not even have to come together to stay together with this person. I feel like for a majority of you that's what will happen, but I feel like you also just have a karmic contract that needs to be released as well. So you may have karmic partners too. I feel like this is something that you've experienced multiple times, or you've been connecting with people in this lifetime that have gone through these experiences prior to meeting you in other lives, and even in this lifetime, that has impacted your love life. So going into a meditation or a past life regression would help you to uncover if you were ever orphaned, or somebody that you've connected with was orphaned, and then you would want to relive those energies for that experience, and heal and talk to that inner child that was orphaned, or talk to that person that never received the love that they were giving so freely. I feel like either you or the person that you're connecting with for this significant journey really had a lot of love for you in another life, or you had a lot of love for them, but it wasn't returned. So you want to go back and tell them how much you love them, and show them that energy is there. Because I really feel like it wasn't unrequited. I just feel like you or this person may have been orphaned prior to meeting. And so this connection was triggering this to be healed, but it was never healed. It was never released. So now it's continuing to happen lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, and you really need to go in and heal that, so that that phobia of not having returned love or being orphaned by the people that you do love, because this doesn't have to be romantic either. This could be like you have this experience with your family, your mom, your dad, your friends. You may feel like you get orphaned a lot, or that you give too much love a lot, and so you have phobias in regards to who you love within this life, and are they going to love you back? And then we have the Knight of Cups coming through, so it even furthers that energy of, you may deal with people who come into your life and they're very romantic. They're offering you love. They're offering you something that's like romantic, or even friendship, or even just like working with somebody. But because you have dealt with this, or you're dealing with people who have dealt with this, something gets triggered and the relationships fall apart because there's either unrequited love or this fear of being abandoned that comes out so strong that it actually repels these people back away, or you're repelled away from them. You may be connecting with people who continuously, like, you really like them at first, but then something within their energy or their emotions kind of repels you because you're like, dude, like, I'm not, like, when somebody's so insecure and they're like, are you mad at me? You're like, no, but it gets old after time. It's like you don't want to deal with that after time. So I feel like you could be attracting these people to you to heal, or you could be kind of doing something similar to that when you connect with people where you have these insecurities of like, am I good enough? Are you sure? Are you mad? I think they're going to leave me. I think they like somebody better. There's just a lot going on with anxiety that really needs to be released. And then the 9 of Wands is coming through that tells me that you can't give up, okay? I feel like some of you may either be dealing with people or feeling like you just want to give up on love. And you can't, because if you do, you're just going to have to repeat this cycle over and over, and it's going to show up in other areas. And you don't want to live the rest of your life afraid to love. You want to love yourself too. You need to go talk to that little boy or little girl inside of you that didn't receive love, or didn't feel like it was having the, or she or he wasn't feeling like they were getting the love that was being given to them. They were almost rejecting it out of a fear of it leaving at some point. So you could even be dealing with commitment issues where the people that you attract into your life are afraid to commit, or you may be afraid to commit to people because you'd rather run away before they can run away. So there's a lot of energy going on here that I feel like could be being married to you from a significant partner or through lots of partners. But take it as it resonates, leave the rest. But you definitely have something going on karmically from a past life, or multiple past lives really, that need to be worked on. And then we have the Page of Swords. So I feel like you may be in this energy where you observe others and you're like, how come they have it so easy? How can they have this love? You may see like the perfect couple on social media, and it may trigger this energy of like, I'm never going to receive love like that. Or you know, if you have somebody that comes into your life, you may watch them to the point where everything that they do triggers those phobias. Maybe they share a meme about something and you take it very personally. Or they say something to you and you in communication through texting and stuff, I feel like there's a lot of misconstrued information that comes through in those forms of communication with you. Unless you're face to face with these people, you may misread what's being said to you because of that phobia that you're going to be orphaned, or you're not. So if somebody, say you text somebody, they don't answer you back right away, you start to go into that place of, oh my God, what if they're mad at me? Like, why aren't they answering me? You know, or you could even have fear of something happened to them. Because if you were orphaned in a past life, something likely happened to the people that were around you. They may have passed away. So you could have those fears triggered when you don't get responses from people. So you want to look into that and kind of release that anxiety and release that fear of not receiving an answer, or looking too deep into the meanings that you're seeing with stuff. And then we have Shaman, which is the Hierophant energy. It's a spiritual commitment. So again, I feel like you have a big, significant connection in this life that needs to be healed. And all of this is impacting it. So you likely are on a high-level soulmate or twin flame journey. And you need to take that next level commitment to yourself to heal. And we have the Sky Alpha Female. So this is like the Queen of Swords. You need to step into your divine power, your divine truth, and not be afraid to speak up when you're not receiving love appropriately. But you also want to approach it through divine truth. Okay, so you want to tap into that higher level commitment of yourself to go in and heal these phobias, heal this energy that's inside of you. Look at what might be coming through from your person, and then begin to speak your truth and cut out anything that's not serving this connection, or that's not serving all of your connections in this lifetime. Because I feel like for many of you, it's impacting a lot of them. And then with the Six of Earth, this is the Six of Pentacles. I feel like you just need to get into a place of balance, and releasing all of that energy is going to attract to you the right people, the soul family that you're meant to have. And it will kind of over time show you that there are people here that are not going to orphan you. There are people here who are going to love you back to the same degree that you love them. But you got to come out of that cage. You got to come out of that mindset of that all things are going to end that way. You got to stop looking so deep into the things that people say or do, because I feel like you take things personally because of the things that you've experienced, or the people around you are doing this to you, and this is where it's coming from. So I feel like you're being called to either step up and heal these things for yourself, or help other people, bring this awareness to them so that they can begin to heal for themselves. So I hope that this assists you, and I hope that you're able to kind of take a step back and look at some of the things that have navigated in your lifetime, and go back through a regression, go back through your consciousness, set the intention to find the phobias that are either coming from you or your significant people that you connect with romantically, and then look at the connections with your friends and your family, and go back to rewrite that history. Go back to realize that you may not have been, I don't feel like it was unrequited love, and if it was, you need to go back and talk to that woman and give her all the love that she didn't receive. And for the child, you need to go back and give her all of the love and be there for her. See her life growing up with a mom and a dad. See her life growing up without that orphanage. See this woman coming together with somebody that really does love her at the same extent. They're happy, they're together. Watch it like a movie for both of these girls, and that's going to help to release these phobias. And this can be vice versa. You could be a man that needs to do this. So I really feel like this can help you in your current situation in love, whether it's friends or romantic. This is something that is significant for you. So I'm going to move on to number 2, and it is 11:11. So we're going to be finding out who you may have been, or what may have happened in a past life that needs to be healed and released in this lifetime, and what type of messages you need to know that are going to assist you. So we have imprisonment or slavery, high priest or priestess, persecution and inquisition, which I feel like these two are going along pretty well together. And then the angels. So again, similar energies here. I feel like you've had a few past lives where things repeated a lot for you. And even in this lifetime, you may have some sort of energy similar to this coming through. So then we have the 3 of Sky, which is the 3 of Swords, which is about heartache. The 5 of Sky is the 5 of Swords, which is about victory, but it's like an ego victory. It's like defeating other people. So again, it's not great energy. And then the Tower, which is like the crumbling of the current paradigm that you're in. It can be in a pivoting moment, but in this energy, I feel like it's like the crumbling, like tearing down what you have. We have the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and the 3 of Swords again. So you've got the 3 of Swords twice. So your heart has been broken many times in past lives, but I feel like you have a higher divine mission or purpose here. You actually have that role of like being the angel on earth, okay? You're an earth angel, or a starseed, or a light worker, an empath, however you want to resonate with that term, but you have higher energy to bring to the earth at this time. And having a divine mission or a divine calling can sometimes get you into this energy where you're feeling like you're going to be persecuted for your beliefs and for what you do. People, even your friends and family, may look at you like you're crazy for believing in this type of stuff, but deep inside you believe in it because you are it. You are the high priest or the high priestess. You have these gifts to deliver to the earth and to the collective, and you've signed up to do this regardless of these energies. You're here to break society out of the conditioning and out of the limitations that they've held on to. But I feel like because you've experienced persecution, and because you've been imprisoned or put into slavery in the past, your gifts weren't honored. They were trying to take it from you. You had to hide it. You had to pretend like it didn't exist. You weren't able to pass down the wisdom and the information as you would have liked to, or as you were kind of called to do in those lifetimes. And so I feel like, you may have even been like a witch, like the Salem trials are coming to mind. And so in that time, you could have gone through that inquisition where you lost your life. And I feel like even before that, there was times where, you may have been around before when like it was against the Christian laws and things. And even further back, I feel like there's been times that you were trying to step into your divine high priestess power or your high priest power, and those around you labeled you crazy and locked you up. So I feel like this could even be in lifetimes not that long ago too. You may have been labeled mad or crazy and put into like psych wards and things like that. You could have even had experiences in this lifetime where either you thought you were crazy or others around you may have thought you were crazy. You could have been labeled with, bipolar or ADHD or things like that. I feel like that's something that could have happened for some of you, not all of you, but there's a definite higher divine mission here, and whenever that's going on, there's an elevated consciousness. You see things differently than others, and that doesn't always go over well with other people because they just want to label what they don't know crazy. Cognitive dissonance is something that a lot of people hold on to. If they were told something as a child, they never want to shift that belief because that's what they were told and that's what they believe. And if my mom said it or if my teacher said it, it must be true. Or if it's in a book, it must be the truth. But you see beyond that. You go into the ancient wisdom and you connect with the angels. You connect with a higher consciousness. You are a divine channel. Whether you're aware of it or not, you are. And I feel like in this lifetime, you need to break out of the fears of what society may say or do when you really tap into this higher wisdom and you need to start passing it down to others in this lifetime. But I also feel like there's a lot of heart healing that is needed because you have the Three of Swords twice from two different decks, and it's about, heartache. It's about being stabbed in the heart. It's about being like I feel like in the past you may have started to open up with your gifts. Maybe you told a family member and they turned you in. Your friends may have turned you in. Your community may have put you into prison. And so that broke your heart over and over and over. And I feel like it's not just a few times. It's like you've had your heart broken in 6 different lifetimes at least, where you were taken away from your divine mission and your role. And that's why you've had to come back so many times to anchor that wisdom, to anchor that energy here now. And then with the Tower, I feel like every time you started to build something, it gets crumbled. So that could be happening in this lifetime too, where every time you get close to people, they break your heart. Or every time you start to build something solid, it crumbles down. And you're like, why does this keep happening? Why does this keep happening? And it's because of past lives where the karma needs to be released. So you want to go back into those past lives through a regression or a meditation and to see where it's coming from. Okay, see what happened and then rewrite that history. See yourself never being, taken advantage of people. See yourself never giving away your secrets to those who were going to turn on you or imprison you. See yourself breaking free of, the imprisonment or like the times they've locked you up in the psych wards or the times that they labeled you crazy or a witch or whatever. Take back your power from all of those lifetimes and start to build this tower in a new powerful way where you can stand on the top of it and have your victory. So I do feel like in this reading, it's about having your victory and, releasing yourself from those who tried to take it from you, from those who did that in an egoic way. It's time to have a victory, but to be humble about it and to still share the energies with others, but to do it in a way that's not so like in their face or is gonna trigger things inside of you that hurt your heart and all of that. It's time to find the right community. It's time for that new beginning where your emotions can overflow and you can feel confident that you're attracting to you the soul family that's meant to assist you in this higher divine mission in this work. And with the Ace of Wands, I feel like it's time to really be empowered. If you're feminine, you want to be that empress. You want to be that high priestess. If you're on the masculine, you want to be the high priest, the hierophant. You want to start to step into that higher calling and just do the work that you're guided to do without any fears of what the people around you may say or think or feel or do, because we now actually live in a society where it's pretty hard to get yourself locked up. Unless you're, running around naked, they don't tend to do that. And even if you do get locked up, you usually get out, or you can, I was put in a psych ward way back in the day because I was suicidal, but I was able to talk my way out pretty quickly. So as long as you have some sort of like understanding of how people work and how the consciousness works and how people want you to be, you can kind of like trick your way through them. But I feel like that's part of your mission here, is to release yourself from the fears of just being authentically who you are, which is a divine being who has a divine mission and divine role here to anchor higher consciousness and to be that angel on earth to assist, bringing a new day and a new dawn, a new energy, a new emotional body to the collective consciousness and to yourself. You need to heal this stuff so that you can feel confident the next time you come back to, well, I don't even think you'll have to come back, honestly, but the next lifetime that you go into, you will feel victorious, but you'll know that you did it in the right way. You didn't do it by, trying to harm others. You didn't lock others up for not believing in you. You're welcoming of all. You're open to all. You don't mind if people have different beliefs or feel differently about things than you. You're open, and that's your victory. So this lifetime is about just being open to multiple views of consciousness, but anchoring your new consciousness and building a solid foundation for you here, free from all of those fears and free from those people who may, turn on you. So you want to start putting it out into the collective that you're attracting those to you who are going to be on the same vibration and the same role and the same mission, so you can work together, so you can heal the wounds of the past. You can release yourself from the pain of the heartache that you had to go through every time somebody turned on you or locked you up or labeled you crazy or a witch or whatever it is that they did. I feel like sometimes it was really bad, and sometimes you were even made to use your knowledge and your wisdom to assist others so that they could have those ego victories. You may have been taken to a battle or to a war so that they could win their fight with the secret wisdom that you had and like the magic that you had. And I feel like you may have even lost your life in that time because they didn't understand or honor the ways, and they didn't realize that it's not magic, it's just consciousness and energy, and your energy was what was needed more so than anything. But I do feel like this is something that's big that may show up in your lifetime, and you may feel this inner calling but be afraid to step into it or unsure of how to step into it because you've never been able to fully do it before. But this is the lifetime where you're taking your power back and you're going to free yourself so that you can free yourself from the societal conditioning. You can free yourself from the fears and the beliefs that have been conditioned into you from all of those lifetimes and from all of that energy of people who've betrayed you and broken your heart. It's time to take that back and to rise. So I hope that this assists you. Thank you very much. I'm going to move on at 2141. And we're going to be finding out who you may have been, what may have happened, what you need to know in regards to past lives so that you can heal and learn and grow in this lifetime. We have Greco-Roman coming through, monk or nun, medicine man or woman, and Native American. So I feel like you've had quite a few lifetimes, different things that you've experienced, but you've definitely had a Native American medicine energy to you, okay? So you've probably been the medicine man or woman. I'm like feeling like the energy of Peru. You may have been the shaman, but you've also been a Native American at some point where you were working with the energies of the earth in that way. So I feel like you have a very spiritual soul, as well as being a monk or a nun at one point. And these things can impact you in different ways. But with the Greco-Roman, I also feel like you may have had to go through that time where, everybody had certain beliefs, and there was, like the mythology and stuff like that. There was the gods and the goddesses. But I feel like you may have actually been in one of those roles as a god or a goddess. So think about the Greco-Roman time and think about who may resonate with you. For some of you, I'm feeling like there's this energy of like Aphrodite, and for others, it could have been, Poseidon. There's so many, but also the Pleiadians actually connect with that consciousness and this consciousness. So the Pleiadians, they're the seven sisters, and they're in the mythology. If you go back and look in here, and then over here it would be the seven sisters with the bear chasing after them. And with the medicine men and women, the shamans, they very much believe that everybody here descends from one of the stars of the Pleiades. So it's likely you're a Pleiadian starseed, and you've come here anchoring that energy many different times. So you did it back in the time where there was the gods and the goddesses. You may have been a sister of a priestess energy, or a priest. You can be feminine or masculine, but I definitely feel like you started here And then you came into this time where it was like, actually, I feel like it's in progression here. So it's like you were way back in the day, you were anchoring like the Seven Sisters energy into this. And you may even be part of that mythology. You may have been one of the sisters of Astaropa or Alcyone. And just go look up the story about it and read it and feel if it resonates for you. But I definitely feel like you experienced things there where you were tapping into that god and that goddess consciousness and that energy. But there was also a lot of wars and battles there. There was a lot of things for, if you were a woman, you know, there was things that weren't so great. So you could have some issues being like empowered as a woman. And then with the monker, and again, I'm feeling like a similar thing here. So in this energy, you may not have had much of a voice as the feminine. And then here, as a monk or nun, again, you could have taken vows of being silent as a monk. And with the nun, you could have taken vows of you know, being free from, sustaining from sexual encounters. You could have taken a vow of chastity. You could have just had a lot of, I feel like you're most likely feminine energy in these lifetimes where your voice and your body was not like in your power. You were very cut off by that. And then here, with the medicine man or woman, I feel like you were like a shaman in the hills. And there's a lot of wisdom for you to connect with and to retrieve. But again, very much connected to the stars, very much connected to the Pleiadians, and to realizing that you are one of those sisters for sure. You know, so look them up. There's Meropa, there's Astaropa, there's Alcyone, there's Taygeta, there's 7 of them all together. I always forget a few of them. But they're there, and each one connects to a chakra, and each one of those has their own consciousness and energy. So I feel like you come from one of those where you would want to, you know, do the work to figure it out so that you can learn and grow from those experiences in that lifetime. And then we have the Native American. So again, very much connected to the stars and the energy of the earth and these ancient wisdom that's available to you through that lifetime. So I feel like there's a lot of wisdom for you to retrieve from this, and even from this time. But you need to retrieve your voice, and you need to retrieve power and sovereignty over your body, over what you say, what you speak, what you do. Because I feel like in the past, you had taken vows where you gave that away, or you experienced things where either a man or somebody kind of like put you down on the pedestal. It was like you were looked down upon. But part of it too, I feel like you did live at a time where in the beginning I feel like it was balanced between man and woman, and then at some point it started to shift. And that may be when you like lost your life and you were put into the energy of the stars, and that may be where the mythology comes from, because I feel like something happened where Orion started chasing after them, and the father ended up putting up all the sisters in the stars to protect them from Orion. So I feel like in the beginning things were balanced and fine, but then the masculine energy took over the earth, and it took away from the divine feminine through the goddess energy, and you had that taken away from you in a past life. So you may struggle in this lifetime to recapture that beautiful divine feminine energy. And then here you could have those vows where you may have trouble feeling comfortable or confident even having like sexual encounters or flirting. You may have trouble communicating with people if you had vows of silence. Your throat chakra could be blocked. And so those are things you want to go back and heal and look at. And with the medicine man and woman, again, there's a lot of ancient wisdom for you to learn, for you to remember, to come back into alignment with. And the same thing for the Native American. Again, star energy. But I know the bear was chasing after the sisters in this lifetime. So I feel like you've had many lives where if you were in a feminine energy, you were taken and you had to be protected. So in this lifetime, you may feel the same way, that you need to be protected from masculine energy. Even if you are a man, you may feel imbalanced in that energy. You could want to run from it because it's very powerful and domineering. You may feel like you're not able to speak, or you're not able to do things that you want to do without the permission to do so. And so you need to go back and take that power. You need to release yourself from all vows and poverty. The declaration of sovereignty prayer would help you a lot to release yourself from this stuff. And then we have justice. So this lifetime, I feel like it's bringing you the justice for everything that you didn't receive in those past lives. The Four of Cups is spirits trying to hand you something, but you don't see it. So I feel like in this lifetime, you're balancing out that energy of the masculine and feminine within you, empowering the feminine energy to rise up and to receive everything that it didn't have in the past. All of the voice that was lost, all of the sexual energy that wasn't expressed, all of the times that you were kind of, locked away or had to be protected. It's like you're protecting yourself in this lifetime and you're receiving everything that you didn't. You're walking away from the energy of the past that didn't serve you, the energy of the old where you're going way, way back into the energy where the balance was once here, where divine feminine was more revered as a goddess, and before the masculine energy kind of got into the ego of war and famine and taking over and controlling, saying, oh, you're a woman, you have to be protected, you have to be emblazoned into the stars to save you from Orion or to save you from the Great Bear. And so you're walking away from that way of being and you're receiving everything that you didn't receive before. You're tipping the scales of karma back into balance for all men and women. And we have the Hermit. So again, I feel like there's been a lot of lifetimes where you were in a reflective mode, but you could have this in this lifetime where it almost turns into depression because you may feel fearful of, going out at, it's like those things that they say for women, like, oh, you shouldn't go alone at night. You shouldn't, talk to strangers, like all of the stuff that they don't say to guys, but they just assume that women need to do it because of how society is. But if we didn't allow society to get this way, it wouldn't be a problem. But I feel like you do end up locking yourself up away from people because you can't stand the energy that they bring to you. You don't feel comfortable speaking. You don't feel comfortable in your own energy. And so you kind of just lock yourself away to protect yourself because I feel like you're an empath as well. And you have a lot of spiritual gifts that need to be put back into balance. You need to be able to express them, to speak on them, to feel comfortable, to leave your cave, to leave that energy and to feel like you don't need to be protected up in the sky, that you can be down here with everybody else and be just as powerful as everybody else. So you're walking away from those old energies now. And then the Three of Fire is the Three of Wands, which is about waiting for something. It's like waiting for your ships to come in. And I feel like Spirit's saying, this is the time. This is the energy that's coming to you. You've walked away from the old. You've waited long enough for the justice. You've missed out on your opportunities in other lifetimes. This is your opportunity for it to come to you. But you also have to set sail. You have to come out of the hermit mode. Stop reflecting and thinking and wondering why this stuff is here in your lifetime now, and get into this place of union. The Four of Fire is the Four of Wands, which is about union and balance. It's a commitment. So I really feel like this is a lifetime of balancing out your feminine and masculine energies, empowering the feminine inside of you to speak her truth, to take action, to feel protected and guided on their own without needing assistance, and to bring back the divine feminine to Gaia, which is a big mission at this time for a lot of women and men, to empower that divine feminine inside of you, regardless of who you are or what sex you hold. That energy exists inside of you. It's ancient, it's pure, it's beautiful, it's nurturing, and there's a very big need for it at this time. So I do feel like it's time for you to take back your voice, rescind any vows that you've created, whether they were vows of poverty or silence or chastity, whatever it is. Your time is now to take that back and to walk away from those cycles that have repeated lifetime after lifetime, to come out of this cave of persecution and fear, and to stop waiting for life to happen, and to realize that it's always been presented to you, and then take that justice back into your own hands. So I hope that this assists you. If it did, you can hit the like. If you didn't, you can dislike the video. Either way, it helps me to find people that may resonate with my messages in the future. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, there's a link down below. There's an Amazon wish list for those who like to send decks to the channel. Whenever I receive a deck, I do a new reading either on this channel or the the Bridget Rao channel. but I do plan on getting some more videos out for different topics and different things on this channel. So if there's anything you want to learn about or know about, throw it down in the comments. If there's any questions you have for the Pleiadian Emissaries of Light, I just posted a video before this one where you can comment questions for future videos. And in that one, I was channeling answers to a lot of different questions that people had asked over the past month or so. And if you would like a private reading, or if you would like a channeled message or a guided meditation specific for you, or to even, you could even travel into your past lives. But if there's anything that you would like that, all of the information is down below. And there is a link to my website where there's further information about some of the stuff that I offer, who I am and what I do. And other than that, thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. Help me out by liking and commenting, subscribing, and I will see you in the future. In MUNAY, namaste.